So welcome everybody. My name is Mahila. I am the Deputy Executive Director from EmPath Foundation. So welcome to
the coffee and enjoy the life together. I would like to feel something people from different background, but we want to everyone like connected as a people. We say it's a oneness. That's important.
And it's a cup full of story. So with our customers, so we need to create and nurture these relationships with all the actors of the coffee chain, from growers to roasters to baristas to consumers.
So I focus on them when I select green beans and even create a story in my mind as I craft my brand coffee that customers do for me after trying my coffee. This one.
Consequently, all the sounds emitted by human beings will be stored in the air.
How I try to make this activity is more sustainable because, if you want to build a good generation, treatment the mother and then the opposite.
2, 3, smile everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody. Should we start or wait one more minute to have more people?
I think you should start.
Okay. So welcome everybody. My name is Mahila and I am the Deputy Executive Director from EmPath Foundation. So welcome to Coffee Culture United. Please put your mic on. We are so glad you could join us today. Before we begin, I would like to share some housekeeping. Please, mute yourself. Yuka, can you mute? Thank you. So during the event, please keep your microphone muted and your camera on. This event will be recorded, so kindly please put your video on if you would like. We will take some screenshots during the event. See, these images may later be published on EmPath website or social media channels. So if you do not wish to appear in these pictures or images, please cut off your camera, turn off your camera. If you have any questions about the presentation or encounter any issues, please connect with one of our staff, and you can see we all have a blue background. Thank you very much. You have the agenda. It's quite packed, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have a look at it before I start my introduction to our organization and start the program by itself. Thank you very much. So I would like to introduce to you EmPath Foundation. For those of you who don't know about us, EmPath Foundation is a nonprofit international organization with the mission to foster peace through cultural exchange and dialogue. We operate on 3 pillars: open factory, art and happiness, and coffee culture. Today's event is on the latter, coffee culture. Coffee is a powerful connector that brings people together across culture and community. Each cup represents the collective effort of producers, shop owners, baristas, consumers, and the communities they support. Coffee Culture United 2025 will unite global coffee stakeholders under the theme Connections Created by Coffee to foster networking and collaboration across the industry. The event will highlight pathways towards a sustainable coffee sector, revitalize local communities, and stronger cross-cultural understanding, while also amplifying the perspective of women in a male-dominated field and recognizing the vital contribution of single mothers. Without any further ado, I would like to call upon our Executive Director, Mr. Hiro Matsuda, for his introduction. Hiro, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Marisa. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to everyone is here from all over the world. Let me explain why we do this event. This is not just coffee, and we're not talking about not only coffee industry. We as a human, as a Japanese, I always think we born different country, different background, but as a human, we should share the coffee and enjoy the life together. So here is the event. I would like to feel something people from different background, but we want to everyone like connected as a people. We say it's oneness, that's important. And next, everyone attend this event from own place, something your favorite, which is we would like you to feel, be yourself. We don't have to be someone different. Just be yourself, and we are connected as a human. And the last one is we have an art program at the end of the program. The why we have is we would like this event is not just information you listen, like imagine you are in the art museum, and then that kind of place is like a sort of like a people has good mind, and that kind of good mind is coming in that art museum or maybe church or shrine or temple. So we would like you to feel that kind of ambience or atmosphere in this event, and then connected. And maybe in the future, people here, even participants or even presenters, can do some collaboration together about coffee or make the world a better place through a cup of coffee. So please, not only learning, please feel this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hiro-san, for your introduction. We are honored to welcome Mr. Tadesse Dadi Sagni, Regional Advisor from United Nations Industrial Development Organization, or UNIDO. Please, Mr. Tadesse, take it away.
He's not here yet, and could you just well, wait, or maybe after the one presentation?
Okay.
Later, yeah.
Yes. So let's move on to our keynote speaker. I have the privilege to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Mr. Arturo Ortega Vela. Mr. Vela is an anthropologist, a producer, a roaster, and a barista who will share how coffee from a rare varieties to fresh harvest becomes a bridge that connects people and culture. Arturo, you have the platform.
Hello, everybody. It's a true honor and pleasure to be part of this conference and the opportunity to share ideas and thoughts of my experience around coffee with people from all over the world. And thank you, EmPath, for having me. Yes, I would like to share.
Yeah. Can you? Okay.
And
all right.
I'd like to.
Okay. After the first presentation. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. After.
Okay. And so I'll share how, you know, a cup of coffee, to me is an ambassador to many cultures. This cup of coffee will represent not only, you know, a a business, a company, but in this case, it will represent a country, a community, a team, a region. So this is what I would like to share about my presentation today. So Ignia, which is the company I started with my family, is a small business company. Next, please. And it's a couple story. We recognize that every crop has its own story, where it was come from, how it's harvested, how it's treated, how it's roasted. So there's a lot of information besides the sensorial, qualities of the cup of coffee. So in every cup, we can have the opportunity to taste that, embrace the flavors, and embrace the stories. So we're a small company owned by my family, and we are committed to serving the highest quality cups with sustainable and traceable origin. So we can enjoy the most aromatic cup of coffee. We aspire to thrill, move, and inspire those who try our coffees. When we put the qualities of high quality coffee and Arabica varieties together with our passion to restore the cloud forest where we grow it, along with the use of artisanal methods and rigorous post-harvest processing, in accordance with international norms and standards, we can offer a product of the highest quality and traceable origins, so we can enjoy the most delicious cup of coffee possible. Next, please. So then, again, as you can see, this is our chair. These pictures, by the way, are all from our team. I did not take them from the internet. So this is our processes. So our goal then is to reach customers that are sensitive, interested, and informed about the sustainable products they buy responsibly, which enables the creation of alliance between growers and conscious consumers that creates new opportunities for healthy agriculture, as well as promoting social development of local communities through the economy that promotes justice and solidarity, linked to a high quality product with value added and the best and most sustainable processes. So you will see my presentation, and to me, it's not just about coffee, it's about the holistic approach of sustainability. How can we meet this last time in harvest after harvest? Not only that we're repeating and creating the same cup of coffee, but we're actually growing. Next, please. So we are committed to respect natural cycles in producing our green beans, promoting the development of abilities of local partners, and having the passion to follow these processes step by step in the roasting of beans to guarantee quality and care in achieving the best possible cup for our customers to enjoy a unique aromas and flavors in each sip. Next, please. So our vision as a Mexican company and to present these coffees is to become a beacon for sustainability and equality in the Mexican coffee sector. And our vision is to offer commercial and specialty coffee sustainably with social responsibility and excellent products to both consumers and companies. Next, please. So then, we've created a business model that allows us to present and represent all these values. Next, please. And, along the chain, I think if we look at an arrow, we've been able to participate, from having and setting our own plantation, our own farms in the cloud forest of Veracruz, and then implement the restoration, and we call regenerative coffee culture. In this case, we're not only worried about, producing high quality beans, but you cannot produce high quality beans if you don't start from scratch, from the ground. So then we've taken care of the land, making soil analysis and so on. And then once we started producing, to have the most rigorous protocols in the harvesting. So therefore, in the dry and wet mill, we control every aspect, and we monitor and we record these results. And then so to take it to create a great beans that are ideally for roasting. Once we got to roasting, then of course we need to evaluate cupping the green, and the cupping will tell us the next story. Next, please. So on our business strategies, and could be for any small or big company. So we need to understand and what kind of a agro-industrial change we are. What are the good parts, the good practices, and the not so good practices, and then modify them. I summarize in each square here, from production, from very well milling, and then to get all the way to the coffee bars. What is the value that our coffee carries? That is agroecological, sustainable production. The quality is with international standards. And so therefore our products are high quality and sustainable. And then we need to standardize and become consistent with our results and our roasting profile, satisfying the customer. So we need to meet the industry demands and quality. And then we have created award-winning coffees because of these protocols. And then what's also important is not only that we're socially responsible, but we're involved with the communities. We're involved with the growth of our teams, of our areas, by promoting these practices and values and trying to engage, at least in our case, over 15 families that are participating in this creative process. Next, please. So then, the qualities of our coffees and how can we become, this bridge and our varieties of coffee, which I'll go into more detail in the next part of the presentation. So therefore, our qualities, we have coffees of agroecological and sustainable processes. We created specialty coffees with the highest standards of quality, and then of natural origin and made with care of the environment. So we're creating great cups and restoring the environment at the same time, as well as impacting positively the local communities, which I think is one of the greatest values of our model. Next, please. So then, once you created this great coffees, then you need to separate them. And you can start with any company, from their commercial grade coffees to specialty coffees. We can use the same values and principles to promote and to elevate the quality. Next, please. Next image, please. So so we've created business opportunities, but also we need to increase productivity, not only raise the quality of our products, but also increase the quantities. Thank you. So there's an increasing demand in the world for not only high quality products, but products that carry the added value of caring for the environment and creating social wealth. So here we got to the last part of the presentation and how our beans, and we can see in this image from our farms, we connect to the world. And as I said before, the coffee becomes an ambassador of our communities, of our work, of our companies. And the circle represents the cycle of coffee production. But, we just don't want to look back over and over. And we're looking from above, it looks like a circle. But if we look sideways, I like to think of a helix. And the helix, you can see that is growing, moving forward, moving upward. So that's the whole principle of our model. So next, please. Next. So how can we connect our small communities? In this case, I'm lucky enough to be part of a farming community in Vista Hermosa, Veracruz, where I work with my team. And how do we connect? What kind of bridges do we build with the industry? Well, can we get next, please? Then, so I have 4 elements. If we can move forward with the presentation, please. Next. I don't know, there might be a little problem. I hope that everybody's listening to me. So yes, then in the next image, yes? Can we have next? Next. Yes. It is not changing for some reason.
Not changing, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so then, so then sustainability is holistic and regenerative coffee culture. We need to create those elements. And again, our circle, we present many things. One before, please. One before. This is the end. Well, it's okay. It might some little syncing problems. But again, the bridge between our terroir and to the coffee cups. And then we have a cycle in which we need to do resource management. And once we increase biomass, biodiversity, we can generate surpluses. And these surpluses we can share with the world. Then we need to recognize and appreciate that terroir, the environment where it was produced. We need to take care of nature and soil. So those are the ground base for quality and holistic management production. We move to the next before this. Then we have coffee processing. It's a very technical aspect of our work in which we do selective harvest, we do controlled fermentation, we do optimum drying, and then creating and supervising the creation of our green beans to be evaluated by green and by roasters and Q graders. With that, we create a feedback and we send this information, and we evaluate. And with this, we can see what innovations have taken place. So maintain quality to the whole process, record results and innovation, copying results and promote systemic relationships. And then on the last part, we need to create networking, share the stories, share the results. So value number one, networking, connect with customers, roasters, baristas, and Q graders. Secondly, resilience, create resilience over time by generating long-lasting and vibrant relationships with the all actors in the coffee chain. Then we need to create, co-create, create, evaluate, share results, unleash innovation as a result of this communication. And the fourth element is the growth. We all become better. We generate, co-create, promote dialogue, and sparks new cycles. So become, very excited about quality cycle. So with our customers, so we need to create and nurture these relationships with all the actors of the coffee chain, from growers to roasters to baristas to consumers. So thank you very much. My name is Arturo Ortega from Mexico, coffee producer, coffee grower, roaster, and barista from Mexico, Veracruz, Mexico, Vista Hermosa, Veracruz. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arturo, for this wonderful presentation. I learned so much, and there's so much in your presentation. Wow, amazing. San, do we have our first speaker, Mr. Tadisi, or not?
He's trying to connect it, but there's some difficulties. So could you just still keep doing? Sorry.
Okay, so
Do we have some questions?
We're going to ask a question at the end.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Yes.
I don't. Thank you.
So let's move to the next presentation. And this presentation will be done by Rani Mayasari. Is she there? Is Rani there? I don't see her.
Are you looking for Marina?
No, Rani. Rani is not there? Okay. Well, we're going to go to the second presentation, and it will be Marina Moara. Marina is a coffee shop owner and received her training in Japan, Toronto. Marina has a unique concept of coffee shop that gather community. Marina, take it away.
Hi, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Marina Mohara. I've been running my own coffee shop in Gunma, Japan for 2.5 years. I handle everything by myself, from roasting the beans to serving as a barista and producing all the items for my shop. I'd like to share a bit about my background. I graduated with a degree in nutrition and worked as a registered dietitian at a hospital, as I wanted career related to people's health. However, a life-changing experience came during my college years, when I volunteered and lived in Uganda. Life there was vastly different from life in Japan, and while there were many challenges, the way the Ugandan people lived in their lives deeply inspired and taught me a great deal. These experiences made me think more profoundly about not only physical health, but also happiness and mental well-being. After that, I decided that I wanted to meet many different people around the world and have various experiences to find my true path. I spent about 3 years living in Australia and Canada on a working holiday visa. It was in Australia that I was introduced to the world of coffee. Cafes were everywhere, buzzing with people from the morning, and the baristas and regular customers would chat with each other in a very friendly way. The presence of these cafes seems to brighten and energize the entire city. The quality of the coffee was also incredibly high. I learned that coffee isn't just bitter. It can have variety of aromas from fruity to floral, and I fell in love with it. Beyond the depths of coffee itself, I was captivated by the atmosphere of cafe. There were places where people of all ages, nationalities, professions, and genders could gather, enjoy conversation, and create a friendly space. I gained experiences as a barista in both Australia and Canada. After returning to Japan, I trained at a famous coffee shop in Osaka, and I gained experiences as a roaster and manager. About 3 years ago, I opened my own shop. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my stories from women's perspective. In Japan, coffee roasting is still a male-dominated field. However, I believe coffee is a way to express yourself freely. So I want to create a taste and atmosphere that are uniquely my own. Black coffee is often stereotyped as bitter, strong, and dandy. Especially women assume that they won't like it. For this reason, I try to create flavors with a gentle and approachable image. I always make coffee based on a world of my own liking. For example, the first coffee I ever loved tasted like jasmine flowers and muscat grapes. It was so elegant and fresh that it made me imagine beautiful forest. Coffee with a scent of peach or berries makes me think of lovely pink colors and more feminine image. I love these cute and elegant aromas in coffee, so I focus on them when I select green beans, roast them to bring out these qualities, and even create a story in my mind as I craft my blend coffee. The liquid itself is brown, but when I'm creating a coffee flavor, various colors appear in my mind. I've come to think that coffee making actually has an artistic side to it. These are pictures that customers drew for me after trying my coffee. This one. I was so surprised and delighted that their drawing matched the image I had in my head. I think a collaboration between coffee and art would attract a lot of interest. So I hope to hold this, events like this in the future. Furthermore, some people, particularly women, are careful about their caffeine intake. I'm also sensitive to caffeine, so I offer decaf and low caffeine options. I know this is still challenging area, but I have high hopes for the future of the cafe coffee. Finally, my beliefs is to bring smile to people through coffee. At my shop, people who were strangers or even those who came alone somehow end up talking and becoming friends. So I cherish this warm and welcoming atmosphere. In the future, I'd like to work with people in the populated areas to help revitalize their communities with my coffee shop. To ensure sustainability, I want to create a coffee shop that is not swayed by temporary trends, but instead supports people's happiness and peace of mind. I'll continue to work steadily toward this goal. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now, Iro-san, do we have our UNIDO representative present? Was he able to talk?
Marisa, he trying to access, but there are some difficulties, so he still keep trying. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So, do we have the first presenter, Rani? Is she on board? Because I don't see her. Rani, is Rani there? Oh, okay. So what I would suggest is that we go maybe a 5-minute break, and then after that we go to the art project.
Yeah.
That okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna go to the art project.
Well, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I noticed a lot of questionnaire came, so
We have
I
questions?
think, yeah.
Oh,
So I think it is rather good to have a discussion, panel discussion.
yes, let's do that then, if we have questions. What is the first question? Joanne?
Actually, these are not questions. These are just, I don't know, I think random, what's this, like article titles
Okay,
posted.
so it's not a question.
They are not questions.
Okay, sure.
Okay, do we have questions from the audience? You can open your mic and ask your questions.
For the first presenters, right? I mean the first and
Yeah,
second.
for the two presenters actually. For Marina and
Arturo.
Arturo. No questions? I do have questions though.
Sure.
I also have a question.
Okay, Go ahead, Maurice.
Okay, more than a question, and as far as there are no, we don't have two presentations on site yet. I really would love to listen a little bit about Arturo and the other presenter, the one who's running her business in Canada, about how do guys get engaged with EmPath. If you would like to share a little of that story, it would be great.
Sure. So what is your question for Arturo?
Yeah. How did you get in touch with EmPath? How did you meet?
Yeah, well, in my case, I had
thank you, Arturo.
to receive Hiro and Marie in my farm in Veracruz through Frida. Frida organized a tour, and because we've been collaborating with Frida in some projects, she was kind enough to introduce us to Hiro and Marie. So they came to our farm project in Vistahermosa, Veracruz, and they hiked the mountain. We engaged in a conversation, and then spent the second part, we visited another project of my cousin in the next community village, and then it all evolved from that, and they were taken by what they saw. So they basically, after that visit, and that was last year. Yeah, that was early this year, no?
No, last year. Year, October last year.
Yeah, 1 year ago. See, sorry, time flies. And so then a year after, and then, here we are. Aquí estamos.
Okay, let's ask Marina-san. Let me do it in Japanese first. マリナさん、質問が2つ来てまして、エンパスとどうやって知り合ったんですかっていうことが1つ目。2つ目が、視聴者から、サラさんから、質問があって、カフェの、今、オープンしたと言ってたんですけど、カフェの名前を教えてくださいということでした。
はい。日本語でいいんですかね。
どうぞ。
知り合ったきっかけは、去年登壇された平久さんのですね、ゆうたさん、平久コーヒーさんのゆうたさんから紹介していただいたっていうか、このコミュニティトーク。
Okay, to answer the first question, she got to know EmPath through the last year's event, Coffee Cultures United. There was a presenter named Hiraku Yuta, and he introduced her to EmPath and connected her to EmPath. So that's how she got to know. And the second question, which we received from the chat box, what is the name of your cafe? カフェの名前すいません。もう一度おっしゃってもらっていいですか？
ムルンジコーヒールーム&ロースタリー。ムルンジコーヒールームです。ムルンジ
コーヒ
ー。はい。ホッピーさんですかね。
Okay, she's going to write more about it, and then maybe even she can send a URL to the chat. Thank you, Sarah, to ask the question. Marie, we have answered the question.
Yes, thank you so much. Is there any other questions? Don't be shy.
Oh, by the way, this is Branch Coffee.
そこ、
Yeah, website.
ウェブサイトすみません。ちょっと全然やってない。
チャットボックスにもし残せたら URL 残してもらえますか？ヒロさんでも。
Okay, yeah, I will. Thank you.
Maybe I'd like to ask Marina if she would like to try some of my beans she can roast in Japan.
マリナさんにぜひ自分のいる前の豆をトライしてもらいたいなって、フューチャー、将来的にコラボレーションしたいと思います。
お願いします。Thank you.
She's very excited for that. Let's collaborate.
I'll connect with her, so we'll work it out.
じゃあ、連絡しますので、ちょっといろいろ一緒に今後やっていきましょうと言ってます。
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Is there any questions from our audience? Take the time since the other two speakers had technical difficulties. And this is what's happening when you are organizing an event across the globe. and some area do not have access to
Yeah.
internet, or it's intermittent internet, so that happens from time to time. Any questions? I have questions, but they were for our panel discussion, so I don't want to take my questions now. Otherwise, I won't have questions after. Frida is smiling.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so two speakers. I have a question. Just tell us one difficulties that in your business or business structure that right now you're facing.
I'd like Marina to go first.
マリナさん、もしよかったら教えてほしいんですけど、結構ポジティブなプレゼンテーションでしたが、結構ネガティブな面も知りたくて、ちょっと難しいなと感じるビジネスを運営している上で、あるいは自分の持っているビジネスストラクチャーの上で、戦略の上で、なんか難しいなと感じることは何だと思いますか？
やっぱりこのコーヒーショップもそうですし、レストランとかもそうですけど、同じようなお店っていうのはもうどんどん増えていっているので、なんかそういう中で、もちろん自分のさっきお話ししたようなイメージとか、目標とか、自分のこのお店の特徴っていうのは結構私はあると思っているんですけど、でもそれでもやっぱり人は新しいものとかトレンド、さっきのトレンドだったりとか、特に日本とかがそうなのかもしれないですけど、流行っているものとかにもうすごい皆さんが行きやすいっていうのもあるので、私はそこにやっぱり左右されずに、本当に人が求めてるものとか、その地域が求めてる地域とか、コーヒー農園の方とか、人間の生き方的に求めてるものは何だろうを追求していきたいと思っていて、先ほどお話をしました。なので結構どんどん新しいものに食いついていってしまうのは目の前で見ているので、それはちょっと、大変なところだなと思ってます。
The difficulty that I face by running a coffee shop, first of all, it's the trend. There are more and more similar coffee shop that is appearing even close to her shop. And then although her goal and what she want to achieve, which is to create a community and then create an environment where everybody can be connected through coffee, it's set and it's clear. However, it seems like the norm, the trend in the world is a little bit different, shifted to a different thing, which is people are easily attracted to a new thing. So whichever the coffee shop is giving people new type of the coffee or new idea or new trends, then people are shifted to that kind of a specific trend, and then they easily attracted to the trend. But then what she is trying to focus right now is just to keep committed to her goal and also try to pursue and then provide the environment where the people can be gathered and connected through coffee, and also pursue or provide what people should have or people should enjoy through coffee. So that's the answer. Thank you.
So much, Yuka-san, for this translation. Arturo.
Yes, well, one of the difficulties, I think, to create loyalty with customers, customer service is a very important part of the aspect of communicating. People, although sometimes they're excited by the story in the cup, we need to do extra motivation, extra storytelling about the sourcing to create a story that inspires them to commit to our company, in which we have been successful. One big challenge is the trends. 1 year, the trend might be this exotic geisha coffee, for example. So everybody wants geisha coffee. Although you might have really great Caturra or really great Mondo Novo, or a certain profile. So this trend sometimes set by the industry becomes a challenge of how to cope with the man that is sometimes, nonsense, because, how many of us can produce geisha coffee of $10,300 a kilo from Panama? So there's a lot of these, I think, wrong ideas and wrong images, and also discourages the small growers to innovate, because 1 year is this type of coffee and the next year is this type of coffee. So I think we focus on consistency on what we do and how we do it right, and I think that's the path that has gained us great connections and great opportunities, is by being consistent rather than being fashionable. So these fashions and trends are a challenge sometimes, and also the bottlenecks, the trading, to make direct connections to buyers international. For example, this is our challenge for us, is we have a good coverage nationally, but we don't have really international partners yet. Like in this case, Marina, other people that will become excited with a small farm, a small production. So, and maybe this is a way of creating those networks. Remember in my presentation, the networking is a challenge, but once it happens, it grows.
Thank you so much, Arturo. I think we already started the discussion, the panel discussion. I don't think we're gonna have Rani anyway. So this is a very good segue to that section of our presentation, which is the panel discussion. So you just mentioned that three things: the big challenges, for example, when the trends are set by the biggest producers in the industry, that discourages small growers and also prevent them from innovating, but also prevent them from trading. And the small growers have a lack of connection. So based on your experience, Arturo, what is there any policy that needs to be made, maybe by the Mexican country or any other country, especially those who are producing coffee? Is there any policy that needs to be put in place to support those small producers?
Yeah, well, absolutely yes, because currently there's only the big multinationals that are the main buyers locally. So all the small producers will supply them, and there's no dialogue. There's no balance in the sense of the price that is paid, because these industries are driven by profit. And I think our government should make a legislation and a lot of these people don't pay by quality. And I think, well, this is the other, international with the specialty community that is important to, like you did, scout to the country. So we need more of our government to channel local growers to local small buyers like Marina. I think I'm so inspired to be in touch with small coffee shop, to small micro roaster from anywhere in the world that connects to our farm, and make that connection, and I think that's important, because I believe a lot of these micro roasters, and they depend on an international trader that not necessarily is understanding, maybe willing in good faith. I don't know this part, maybe no, but I think we need more of a direct connection. So maybe a platform run by governments or coffee sectors, in which you can put your coffees up, people can look it up, and then make a connection. Of course, you go the protocols by sample, by lot, etc. So I think we need more of an international direct trade community, if we want to call it that, a network that connects small farms to small coffee shops and small roasters internationally. I think that would be a very great use. And of course, hopefully with some funding from, non-for-profits or governments alike, or, bigger companies. Unfortunately, I see too much of the big names in the industry funding, like a Cup of Excellence and this and that, and that is great. But not necessarily, how about the 86-point coffee that is still excellent? Maybe not the 90 point that the industry wants. But who is going to support that effort? You know, because not everybody can buy the expensive coffee. Okay, somebody has their camera.
Yes, I understand. I understand totally. Yeah. So basically, you are in favor of promoting a platform that will allow those small producers. Do you think we could have sustainability? Because the bigger producers definitely ruin the soil. There's no question. And the climate change is impacting the production of coffee. So do you
Yeah, but
think there will
challenge.
be a rise of the small producers and a decline on the massive production of coffee? What is your insight on that?
I think the small grower has an advantage because we can control more smaller areas. Like in my case, we've been able to really increase production instead of decreasing production. So I think I will have an opportunity in the marketplace when let's say the most gross commercial coffee grades are gone. What is going to prevail? Our quality small coffee. So, but if we don't have the outcome, we don't sell our coffees at a good price, fair price, not the most expensive price, but the fair price.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. So I think really who's going to, at the end, prevail are the small farmers. If we can still do what we can do in our small settings. So that's the importance of empowering and not receiving money. Well, training, yes, and training basically, and some infrastructure, but mostly to connect to, let's say your harvest is sold for the next cycle. That would be great because you create the funding to, you know, keep running with the people, to keep expanding production, etc. So I think it's vital to create this new cycle of trade, small trade, not global trade, that is alternative to this, you know, the global market, the local markets, or connect local markets, Japan, Australia, Singapore, Mexico, Guatemala, etc., and connect those, create a network of small companies.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I have a question from Eugenio. He's from Edmonton. And he asked, how will you keep your brand identity while selling globally and tell your story? Also, with coffee samples be provided to participants today? Well, we haven't planned that, Eugenio, but that's a good idea for next time. So Arturo and Marina, maybe you can answer that question. How will you keep your brand's identity while selling globally and tell your story?
For me, it's basically I cannot go beyond certain stock I produce because if I start selling globally and more coffee, that I'll be questioning where my coffee is coming from. You know, so I only have limited harvest, so that's the only kind of it's a closed cycle. So although, you know, I can sell some global, I do have in my company now, I can ship to 267 countries. I achieved that this year. I'm selling currently in the United States some of my beans. So people need to, we can keep that because we're rooted locally. Our model is based on in a limited area. I think that for me.
Mm-hmm. Marina?
Okay, so the question is that how will you keep your brand's identity while selling globally and tell your story? I think Marina is not selling coffee globally, so I'm not sure if she's the right position. She's a barista.
Okay. How are we doing with
あ、
time?
すいません、マリナさん何か言いたいですか？
すいません。もう日本語でも。
あ、すいません。これは多分ちょっともしかしたらマリナさんの立場では違う質問かなと思ってて、コーヒーを売る人に対しての質問だったんで、コーヒー豆。
豆を売っています。
あ、売ってる。なんか、結局、質問っていうのが、世界中に、こう、たくさん売り出すときに、その コーヒーのアイデンティティって言って、そのコーヒーのクオリティですよね。あと、その性質とか、味とか、そういったものを、どういうふうに管理してますかっていう質問だったんですけど。だから、どっちかっていうと、マリナさん、買う方ですよね。
あ、グリーンビーンズのことですかね。
そうですね、はい。
そうですね。私は買う方ですね。
そうそうそう。だから、ちょっと質問がねっていう話だったので、大丈夫ですよ。OK。
Are you done? Thank you so much. I
Yes.
think we need time for a 5-minute break. Is that okay, Hiro-san?
Yes, yes, please.
Perfect.
There's
Let's take 5-minute breaks
okay, yeah,
and
5 minute break. Yeah,
then we're coming back.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dinu, can you put the time? 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Okay. By the way,
But
Nice.
Yukaku-san, can you set the time?
OK。
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Hiro-san?
Oh, by the way, the Tadi-san from Unido,
Yes.
he's outside and there's still difficulties, so he cannot
Oh,
connect.
okay.
Yeah, and also Rani, she's in Japan at the moment, but it's midnight, so maybe she is not here yet. There's
Okay,
some
she fell
difficulties.
asleep. She's sleeping.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This is
What else?
understandable.
So maybe we can, skip 2 things and maybe we start art program after
We're
this.
going to start the art program after the
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, after the break. Yeah.
If that's the case, please be informed, Hiro-san, that I cannot share the pictures, so please do share pictures.
Pictures, ultrasound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ultrasound.
Yes.
Hello, no, sorry, ultrasound. Sorry, it's Mauricio-san, yeah. Mauricio-san, can you hear me? Okay. As I said, I cannot share your photos. I can share your screen. After the break. I share this.
Can you mute yourself, Fernando? Even though it's a break.
Yeah, Mauricio-san, I can share your screen like this one.
Yes.
It's okay?
Yes, why not?
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
perfect.
then after break, maybe the art program we're gonna start.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Now I give you more time, I think, because we are missing 2 speakers.
Yeah.
So go
By
and
the
grab
way,
grab a cup of coffee. It's in the morning for us.
by the way, I want to know the Farman-san on the Farman show or Navarro-san. Hello, Farman-san. Can you hear me? Navarro-san. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. Where are you from? I'm just wondering. He's on the screen. Farmanko. Yeah, hi. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm from Mexico,
Mexico. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Puebla.
Yeah.
Hi, Arturo.
Oh, it's an Arturo
I'm friend of Arturo.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for attending.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, by the way, Furida-san, can I introduce you later? Because you are the person proposed this theme. So Furida-san. Yeah. Maybe after Mary is coming back, I introduce you, Kurita-san. Okay? Something wrong.
Sorry, hello. My
Yeah?
name is Frida.
No. Okay. Yeah.
I have a problem with the sound in my office. Sorry.
Okay. So I
Stay
cannot
in the
introduce
coffee
you.
bar. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I tell Mary. Maybe she explain about you. Yeah. Thank you.
Everybody, quickly, Frida is the person that is in charge of Coffee Culture United. Well, she contributes a lot because she specializes highly in coffee. She has her own business, and she supports small producers in what's the name? Oh, I forgot.
Oaxaca.
Osaka. and she's really detrimental to this presentation today, as she proposed the theme, and particularly the women in the production of coffee. We haven't got a lot of question on that because we're missing that producer who's a female producer from Asia. I think the time is up, so welcome back, everybody. We will now move to the last section of our presentation, which is the art portion. And I have the privilege to introduce to you a Mexican artist, Mauricio Cervantes. Mauricio was born in Mexico City in 1965. He trained as an engraver and painter at the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico before working for over 15 years as an easel painter using encaustic techniques inspired by Mayan stories and bees. So I will let Mauricio Cervantes the platform. So Mauricio, you can take it away.
Onegaisemasu, Marilor. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you very much, EmPath team. Thank you, Yuko, for the translations. I'm so happy to be sharing some of my thoughts and my feelings about coffee, the coffee community. I want also to express my gratitude to Frida, who is an important link in the chain of what we are witnessing now. So, my little talk or presentation has coincidentally or luckily coincidence with some of the topics touched by Arturo. Specifically expressed in bullets, I would talk about the stories behind the coffee and the importance of dialogue and the importance of connection. That is something I really I'm acquainted of. That is probably one of the most important goals of EmPath. So I will read the presentation in order to get focus, starting with an experience I had in 2015 when I was fascinated by a work by artist Rafael Lozano Hemmer, which I saw at a contemporary art museum in Mexico City. It was commissioned by the Borusan Contemporary in Istanbul 2 years early. The name of the artwork, Vicious Circular Breathing. The work consisted of a complex, hermetically sealed system of paperbacks that were inflated and deflated with the breathing rate of a resting adult. These paperbacks, and actually they were kind of the size of the coffee bean size. These paperbacks were connected to a small chamber the size of an elevator. A single user could access this chamber and breathe the air that traveled from the bags to the chamber and from the chamber to the bags in a circular movement.
Mauricio, I'm share the screen, and could you tell me should I go to the
No,
next?
you might let that picture on
Okay,
side.
yeah, all right,
I am
okay.
making a briefly, how do you say, background talking
Okay,
about
all right,
a
yeah,
workshop.
sorry.
I don't have,
Okay,
we
okay.
don't need the pictures of.
Yeah,
Okay,
oh,
it's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
So, back to the description of this artwork. The viewer was warned of the possibilities of contagion, suffocation, or panic that they could be exposed to upon entering the chamber. As an introductory note, the artist placed a paragraph from the 9th Bridgewater Treatise by mathematician Charles Babbage, a text published in 1837, in which he proposed that the material world is a medium that records everything that has ever happened. Consequently, all the sounds emitted by human beings will be stored in the air. Every whisper, every word, from the most banal phrase to the most elaborate philosophical thought. The virtue contained in allegories that are genuinely constructed is that they acquire a timeless character. This could be said of Lozano Hemmer's piece, which foreshadowed the media-induced danger of breathing the same air as other mortals, as occurred during the coronavirus pandemic. Lozano Hemmer's arrangement of paperbacks evoked a pipe musical instrument. So my personal interpretation of the artwork makes me think about the choice we have to reach out to others, despite the distances imposed by cultural prejudices or frontiers, or the extreme isolation that state-held institutions have forced upon us during the pandemic period. Despite these manipulative actions, it is up to each individual to choose if we want to breathe alongside others and infuse the world with poetic or musical breath gathered as a council of voices. As for Babbage's text, nothing is closer to his idea of sound storage than the time in which we live now. Data storage clouds are circulating around the planet with all the sounds and images we utter. On a different scale than data clouds, desert sands move around the planet, as do goods transported through the air or across the seas, as happens with coffee beans. The volumes of coffee moving from production centers to consumption points can be tracked through economic and stock market indicators, but only as numbers or statistics. The purpose of what I'm reading now, and basically of a script I propose in a document addressed to coffee producers and consumers within the framework of the Coffee Culture United, is to consider the other end of the chain from a humanized perspective. This thought shall be represented in a photograph. Actually, I am inviting the audience made of consumers and producers to make selfies. So after a 2-week period, these photographs will be condensed into a video. Both the photographs and the video will be incorporated into the data cloud to remind us that in addition, and I am quoting that mathematician of the 18th century, in addition to innocuous phrases or elaborate philosophical approaches, we can deposit messages and vibrations charged with emotion and gratitude into the air and into the storage clouds, bringing us closer to in a more personalized way. And okay, that is more or less the background, the poetic background of what I am trying, supported by the empathy to achieve, that is gathering pictures in order to make the video. So, as a regular coffee drinker and an artist who has engaged with the land and the soil in several of his projects, and in order not to let the screen so bored, Hiro, if you would like to be just showing some other, those pictures were downloaded from the internet, but there are here in order to inspire what these selfies could be make. So the invitation I am sending now is primarily directed toward women, but participation is not excluded for men or people of other genders who wish to get involved. In large consumer centers like cities, food and with served in a cup arrive anonymously. The exercise proposed within these instructions aims to honor, at least for a moment, the human bond with gratitude toward farmers. So I need to say that EmPath team will make an abstract in bullets to send the invitation to drinkers and producers to make it be understood in a simple way. And this is the invitation for coffee drinkers. When you coffee drinkers drink a cup of coffee, as if you were preparing for a ceremony, you are invited to keep in your mind and heart the women farmers who once filled their hands with work and sun heat to plant and harvest the coffee cherries. When you prepare that cup of coffee, from the moment you take the beans out of the refrigerator, or in its case, from the moment you arrive at a coffee bar placed outside your home, think of these rural women and keep them in mind until the last sip. And I am encouraging the women that are drinking to have a bracelet or rings that were very significant for them, to state in their favorite clothes in front of their favorite mug. I mean, those details could be a little offering on a little expression of that is what I am. In order to say to the producers, I want to express through very little details of my own daily life how grateful I am for the coffee you are sending to this part of the world. And there is another invitation. That was invitation for the consumers, and the invitation for the coffee producers could be said. When the cherries you harvest aren't used to make coffee for your own family or loved ones, how many tons of beans have left your community to end up producing a smile or a gesture of satisfaction on the faces of those drinking coffee in the morning in another part of the world? I am writing from the comfort of my home in Oaxaca, southern Mexico. I've never worked in the fields, nor do I know the rigors of their workdays or the uncertainty brought on by the changes in climate over the past few years. But I've seen up close the mystery of life emerging from the earth in my own garden. I have only one son. He's 9 years old, and his mother is a naturopath, a healer who works with plants every day. She selects them, cares for them, and one day prepares tinctures or flower essences. My son's mother knows how to listen to plants, how to interact with the microorganisms in the soil and the minerals in the water. To you, women of the coffee plantations, I ask you to hold the harvested cherries between your fingers, or better yet, what they are still on the bush. But if you prefer, I invite you to take a handful of soil or to sink your hands or feet near the roots of the coffee plant. If you are willing to share that intimacy of contact with the earth or the plant, ask for a photograph that basically shows your hands, the soil, or the coffee cherries. Those who drink coffee from produced in your communities will likely not know your name or the name of your village, but looking at the photographs while sipping the coffee will help them understand the gesture of labor and love invested in your hands for generations. And of course, the audience do not need to make professional shots. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this exciting project that we're going to contribute. Yes, Hiro-san?
Mari-san, could you actually, thank you, Mauricio-san. Could you, Mari-san, explain about this is a more simple, the things we need to collect the
Yes.
photo from them?
So Mauricio is asking us to take a picture of us either consuming a coffee with our cups. So I have my cups, and or for those who are producing coffee, to take a picture of you with the beans and to send that picture to who? To us?
Yeah, to us.
You're going to, sorry for the
your
interruption. You're going to gather the pictures that will allow us to understand in a video that dialogue between consumers and producers.
Thank you. And then can someone put Yukako-san, can you put the email address in the chat box and you can send that picture to us and we'll gather all the pictures and send it to Mauricio for the project.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So don't forget, if you're a producer, I don't think we have more consumers than producers here. Take a picture of you drinking your coffee and think about the person who has produced that beans, mostly a woman, 90% maybe of the time, and enjoy that coffee with gratitude and think about that person who planted that coffee beans for you to enjoy, and take that picture and send it to us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yuka-san, ありがとうございます。
Okay, so we do have Rani Mansari online here. So I will introduce her and she will do a presentation. So Rani Mayasari, Rani is the owner of Java Halu Coffee and Q processing expert, leading sustainable innovation and eco-friendly specialty coffee. So Rani, can you please take it away and do your presentation?
Finally, we are waiting for you.
Maybe you can help me to share the screen, okay?
Yes.
ゆかこさん、どの
松浦さん。
はい。
松浦さんに Zoom のチャットでファイルを送ったんですけど、共有できますか？
Okay.
Okay, Rani, you can start. Thank you.
Okay.
Who's sharing the screen?
Hiro.
Hiro-san, please share the screen.
Just again. どこにファイルあるんです
ズームのチャットです。
か？ピューシェルで、ロニーさん。Yeah, okay, I found it.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. You know, in every cup of coffee is come from 140 liter of water, start from seedling, plantation, processing, roasting, and brewing. And then this is about from soil to soil, from us, Java Halu Coffee, West Java, Indonesia. Okay, next.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, we are from Indonesia. We are the largest country who have more than 250,000 of people, and then we are coffee land. We own the world coffee belt. We are the coffee producer country, and then we are the coffee consumer also. Our currency is rupiah, and then our mainly religion is Islam, and yeah, we are in our industry. We have agriculture, mining, especially manufacturing, and then the agriculture there is coffee, cacao, herb that already export to all around the world. Okay, next. This is about the Indonesia. We are produce 30% of Arabica and then 70% of Robusta, and we already have 90% about our farmers and producer are smallholder farmers, and our contour a lot of mountain. There is three island of Indonesia. As a producer, there is a Sumatra, Java, and Papua that have a different character and different flavor of coffee and terroir. Yeah, this is our area that produce coffee. Maybe you are familiar with Bali or Sumatra, but there is Java. Java Halu is come from Java Island. In Java Island, there is a West Java, Middle Java, and Central Java. And you know, harvest season in Java and in Sumatra is different. Sumatra have two time of season, but in Java only one time a year. Okay, wait. If you want to know the grade of export, there is a grade 1, grade 2, grade C, and we are producing coffee specialty grade. Next. Yeah, this is about me. I'm a 15 years in coffee industry, and then we are co-op coffee farmers, and then we process specialty coffee in Halu Mountain in West Java, Indonesia. 80% of our farmers and workers are women and open. So this is how I try to make this activity is more sustained, because you know, if you want to build a good generation, just treatment the mother and then the opposite. Like, yeah, this is our farm. We plant coffee in 1,350 to 1,600 in Halu Mountain. and we produce more than 80 tons each year of specialty coffee grade, and we already export to 5 continents, and we already have US FDR, and we plant our coffee 90% not in the forest, but in our backyard near our house. Japahalu already have US FDA, so we not only sell the coffee green bean, but we also process the coffee and we can sell the coffee also. This is how we care our plantation. We're doing with our traditional way with the woman, and then how we communicate between us as a producer with the farmers is with picture. You can see the picture. That is how we communicate with them, that how we educate them. If you doing with this 4 step, like first how you take care of coffee, like you topping the coffee tree after harvesting, pruning, and fertilizing. Also clean the weed. This is the way that how we increase the productivity in the plantation. And we can compare with her husband plantation in the forest. Our productivity is 4 times more bigger. This is our community. We have support from like this is Ryan Wibawa, our coffee celebrity from Indonesia, the world third brewing champion, and then from coffee community in Japan, in US, Europe, that always support us. In Indonesia, there is a lot of coffee process with commercialization, and then this is not good for soil, not good for coffee future. We have standard operational, we have education about how to pick the cherry and how to process the cherry with water use, with less water usage, and then with good environmentally, because we focus on specialty coffee with good agriculture practice and with naturally way. And then this is our coffee value chain. Yes. And how we fermentation the coffee with our local microbes. We measure it and then we control it to increase the flavor and taste. And then all doing with care from our farm. And then this is our wet mill. We process the coffee after we just directly picking, and then we start sort the coffee, and we fermentation our coffee with local active bacteria from coconut sap, because we in our place there is a lot of coconut sap or brown sugar tree. There is have a sweet is happy that good for microbes in the process fermentation coffee. Our fermentation coffee control, we control the environmental, so we try to finish all our coffee waste, and we control by temperature, humidity, and then pH. Time is not too tight because we measure only the pH, then time. And drying coffee is an art, I think, because if you have a good result of fermentation, but you don't constant into drying, drying have 30% of quality of coffee taste and flavor. So we concern in drying we dry the coffee in the African bed and on the solar dryer dome. This is our drying area. After fermentation, our coffee is directly sun-dried, and then when the moisture already 40, so we move this coffee to solar dome drying. Yes, this is our movement this year. We have a technology finding about water nano bubble water treatment into the coffee processing. This movement is open new gate our market to Japan, because Japan has a tight regulation about the chemical content. So start from this year, not only our coffee green bean is already pre-chemical content, isopocarb and anything, but the cascara also already zero chemical content. We are already export to 5 continents. Yeah, our biggest buyer is from Europe, and then Middle East, Australia, and then start Asia this year. We have process method. First is double wash. We doing with double wash. First, we fermentation the coffee until the pH level reach 4.1, and then after that we wash and we submerge again with clean water. This is can process the wash coffee with less water than more than 50%. The flavor of this wash process is citrusy, clean, sweet, and is very good for morning coffee, not only full wash. Yeah. And then we have another coffee process. There is a black honey. Yeah, we have full wash also. We process black honey. Why it's black honey? In coffee process, honey process, there is a 3 kind of honey. There is a yellow honey, red honey, and black honey. If there is mucilates become blacker, it's meaning the coffee fruit brick matter is high. So the flavor of this coffee more sweet because they have more substrate when in the fermentation process. And we also make natural. Our natural Icha is name of my daughter. I name this natural Icha because we take care natural process with carefully. We choose the coffee cherry who full ripe with high brick metal, and then we sort the cherry. The coffee start from cherry, and yeah, the natural Icha is the famous coffee in our country. Okay, our natural Icha process is like this. You know about luwak coffee? Luwak coffee is Indonesian heritage coffee, but it's harmful the animal. There is animal abuse, and then in our religion is not hygienic because this coffee is passed through the feces. Last 3 years, we find the method of process coffee luwak without luwak. We find like a microbe just took the enzyme luwak from the stomach, and then this enzyme produced in the laboratorium, and then the scientists sent to me to process in the washing station. So this luwak is vegan and more friendly, animal friendly, and then the taste is, the quality and taste is more stable. then wide luwak through the faces. And every 1 ton of green bean, there is 4 ton of coffee waste. So we make this waste become valuable thing. There is charcoal, fire starter, and coffee biochar. We use this biochar into our soil. We have 2 kind of biochar. Pure biochar to make the soil is more moist, and then another biochar is for fertilizing with contain like a nutrition that coffee trees needed. This is our award from ASEAN as SMEs that inclusive business, that SMEs who affect to have social impact and environment impact. And then this is our award for the coffee. We are top 5 Southeast Asia green coffee competition. Okay. Terima kasih in bahasa, hatur nuhun in Sundanese, and then arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Rani. So much information in such a small period of time. I would like to extend the opportunity to the guest if they have question for Rani.
Can we
Any
try your
question?
coffee in Mexico? I do grow some Java coffee in Mexico. I'm one of the very few growing Java in Mexico, but I'm very interested and fascinated about all the process. Congratulations to the team. Wonderful work is what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Arturo. Any questions from the audience?
Mary, we have one question from Fernando.
Yes.
He wants to know if they are what's it like exporting Java coffee to Mexico.
Rani, do you have
Yeah.
any? Yes, you do.
For this time, not yet, but it's possible to send to Mexico. We are already export company. We can export by ourselves. Yeah, let's make it.
Excellent. Any questions? Because Rani, you covered that 90%, no, 80% of your team were female.
Yes.
What is the challenges that you see as female producers of coffee when male are predominantly owners
Okay.
of coffee producers? Yeah.
Okay. The challenges is in my place there is a lot of women than men. That's the first. And then in Indonesia become a woman is not easy because we doesn't have equal or same education, or we doesn't have good information about the education, and there is a information monopoly. So become a woman is more harder than if we join in coffee industry, because the landscape of the plantation is always in the forest, like it's a must. But when I start this movement about we can plant coffee just in our backyard, many men just looking at me with underestimate. But after 5 years more, they can compare. The husband have 1 hectare of coffee plantation, and the productivity is only 700 kg to 900 kg each year. And then with the comparison with the women plantation, that's just only 1 to 4 or only 2,500 meters, the woman yield is 2.5 ton.
So
Two
you
and
say,
half ton.
so basically you're saying that women are more efficient at producing coffees in a
Efficient, yes. Efficient, consistent, and then uh they take care they doing all the trees and soil needed. Yeah, I think men farmers understand what they must doing, but only 1 to 5% that really doing how they care the coffee tree. So that's why the yield is very different. That's the first in plantation, yes. And then in the post harvest, when we must doing strike procedure in the fermentation, in the sorting, in the drying, women more consistent doing that. And then we can reach the quality. We can compete with the commercialization coffee. You can imagine if you sell commercial coffee, your profit is very, very small. But if you have quality, you can turn your weakness become your strength. Right now, we not only sell the coffee, but we are sell the value of coffee industry.
So basically, you are creating a new movement in Malaysia, where
In
women,
Indonesia,
in Indonesia, sorry,
yeah,
where women are leading a new way of producing coffee,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
maybe it's related to their natural
Double wash, black honey.
roles. As a woman, you are caretaker, right? Caretakers.
Yes, yes. And you know, I sell the coffee waste become a product. The selling price is more is good more than commercial coffee that's produced by men. That's
So,
our movement.
so if you had the opportunity to talk to the politician, what will be the policy that would help you move forward and spread out that movement to the entire country? Because that's helping not only country but also the communities, right? And the women
Right,
themselves.
right. You know, this world is need more women who care about not only about their house, their family, but we need more women that care about all people around her. You know, if the woman happy, so your house become your heaven.
Yeah.
If this earth take care by women, so all this world is like heaven, because our problem is start from our waste, not only in coffee industry, but same as in your life. If you have many problem, just looking back into your heart, there is a stinky waste that you must clean first before you understand how to fix your life. Same as coffee. There is no regulation who punish the producer that doesn't finish their coffee waste, especially in commercialization process coffee. That's
Yeah.
why our soil is suffering, our world is suffering. We just talk only about this climate change that we already know, but there is no real action that they doing. Let's woman action with small step, but the impact is more than that you can imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any questions for Lani from the audience? No questions? Don't be shy.
And you know, our luwak coffee is the first in the world. And then in Indonesia, there is a problem with the export coffee to Japan because Japan regulation is very tight about the isopocar or the chemical content. Uh, mm, Almost 3 years, we have like announcement from our government. Hey, farmers, producer, exporters, careful if you send coffee to Japan because Japan have a rule regulation about this. But there is no mitigation, risk mitigation, or there is no solution in which part in this coffee processing or in this coffee supply chain that we must prepare. So we must find by ourselves. There is no answer before. So when we try to find the solution, yeah, we just need to make a noise first to get our government or our community attention.
I see. I have a quick question. I understand it's really tough from your presentation for women. So what needs to be done so that women can gain equal access to land, ownership, maybe credit and training opportunities so that they can flourish in your country? What would be needed so that they can have access to that or equal access?
Yeah. First is capacity building about the knowledge with same language. You
Okay.
know, the main problem is the communication to understand. We work with same purpose in coffee industry for especially. You know,
Okay.
if you have a team in equal education, maybe it's more easy to communication. But my team is very far. There is a gap understanding about the language of coffee industry. Even a part of them cannot read. So before I start this business is running, I must learn about their culture, about their mindset, about their life. I live with them more than 5 years. So I try to understand how they communicate with their kid, with their husband. So I found the method how we communicate with them, not only with them, but only not only with them, but with our buyer also. In the queue, in the SKR, there is a lot of standard, a lot of language. But how I make this more simple and more understanding, and then it applicable in our village, in our land. So we can press back into our childhood. Everybody cannot read, but everybody can understand picture. That's why I make a lot of picture, so they understand what kind of bread that must be picked with selective picking. So we have like a agreement. Is this red or 70% red or 80% red? We make a deal. We make a new bahasa or a new language. What is drying? What is a fermentation? What is a process? What is microbes? What is water? And then how much water that you must saving? That's the strength only in women. Yeah, because I can communicate with women, not only with verbal but with heart. Yeah. So we choose quality to increase our economy than quantity.
Yes, yes. And it's all mostly better for the environment
Yes.
than mass production anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions for Rani before we wrap up?
Actually, this is not a question, but a comment from Hallie. She
Yes.
said, I just wanted to comment on the fact that both a man and a woman from different parts of the world emphasize the importance of women in this industry due to the care they take to create a quality product and experience. A concept I never have thought about. Very empowering as a woman to hear this. Thank you to the speakers. That is what she
Thank you
said.
so much for this
My
comment.
pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rani, for this beautiful presentation. I think, but just for yourself, we could have a long presentation because there is so many questions we could ask. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to wrap up our presentation. But before that, I would like to call upon Yuka. She has a small presentation. Yuka?
Sure. It's about supporting, requesting you or everyone to support us. So EmPath Foundation brings people together to uplift local communities, celebrate diverse cultures, and create joyful events that connect hearts across borders. We lead initiatives like Open Factory, Coffee Culture United, and Japanese Culture and Learning, each designed to build a kinder, more creative world. This slide shows a donation, how we used in 2024, highlighting the impact of your generosity. Your support is essential. It helps us expand these efforts and bring even more meaningful events to life. If you would like to contribute, please visit the donation page in chat box or just by scanning this QR code. Every bit of the support counts, and every heart you touch matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yuka, for your quick presentation. So we are coming to the end of this session. To close this, I would like to thank the EmPath team, and also I would like to thank the speakers and those who came and view and participate. Before we officially end, we kindly ask for your cooperation with a feedback survey. So you do have a QR code on the screen. You can scan it to answer the question. This is very important for us because it allows us to improve our presentations and provide you with good programs. So it's not going to take you a lot of time, only 5 minutes. And before we completely close, I would like to ask you to put on your screen because we would like to take a picture. So let's take a picture, everybody. Awesome. If for those who wants to be on camera, of course. So who's taking the picture? Yukako?
I've taken picture.
Okay, so just give us the hint and we're gonna take the picture.
Dina-san, you are mute.
Okay, smile.
Thank you so much. Is it done?
Just one more. Could you say like 3, 2, 1 or something? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile, everyone. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For this. that brings us to the end of the Coffee Culture United 2025. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We hope you leave with new insights, connections, and inspiration. Our next event will be covering Japanese language on October 18th and Art Festival and Happiness on November 15th in North America. So please save the date and join us. Thank you again, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend and a good night to those who are in Japan. Thank you so much.